Hello students, now today I am going to talk about the another probable topic for the mains 2022, that is the forest conservation rules. You might have read about each and every clauses under the head of forest conservation rules, but have you read it from the different perspective that this forest conservation rules is related to the compensatory afforestation also. So now today I will talk about what is new in the rule and what are the two wings under which we can divide the entire rules of the forest conservation rules. So now, first of all, I just want to mention here that forest conservation rules has been released by Ministry of Communication, Forest and Climate Change as per section 4 of Forest Conservation Act 1980. And if you will see the rules, then it can be divided into two wings. First is procedural framework and the second is the rules with respect to compensatory afforestation. Under this procedural framework, there are three different levels have been set up, which we will see in the next slide, that what is the function of each and every level. And then we will see what has happened with respect to compensatory afforestation. So now, the very first thing is advisory committee under the head of procedural framework. So now what will happen, for example, this is the forest land. Now if I want to divert this forest land for non-forested purpose, and if the central government wants for this, then the advisory committee will advise that whether we should go for this or not. So basically the function of this committee is restricted to advise only. Okay. Now the second thing, if the project is of mining activity, or if the project is of non-mining activity, then this screening committee will look into that whether we should grant an approval for the diversion or not within 75 days for mining project and 60 days for non-mining project. And this screening committee consists of 5 members. They are deciding upon the diversion of the land for the mining or for the non-mining project. Now this regional empowered committee, there is a linear project that involves more than 40 hectares of the land, just for an example highway. So if we want to divert the forest land for a project like highway, then it must be cleared at this level, that is the regional empowered committee. So this is the procedural framework, and the object behind this procedural framework is diversion of forest land for the non-forested purpose. Clear? Now we will see what is happening with respect to the compensatory afforestation. So if you know the concept of compensatory afforestation, it simply means that if you have degraded the forest of this area, then in compensation in another place you will have to do an equal afforestation. This is the idea behind the compensatory afforestation. I am not going into detail that this idea of compensatory afforestation is itself flawed as per the environmentalist, because they are telling that on one hand this idea is giving the green signal for cutting the trees, and then you are just compensating it by planting more and more trees at other places. So this is basically having an impact on the diversity of the area also. Now what is in this rule we will see. First is undertaking in another state. Earlier this was not the case, but now if I diverted 40 trees, or you can say if I cut 40 trees in Andaman and Nicobar, just an example, then I can do compensatory afforestation in Haryana or in any state having less than 20% of the forest land. Earlier it was not possible, but now if I am degrading forest or cutting trees in any another state, then I can do an equivalent afforestation in another state having less than 20% of the forest land. The second is accredited compensatory afforestation. So again, I don't find that how much it is useful, but here you just need to reproduce the points in the examination. Therefore, the meaning of this particular concept is, for example, this is my land. Okay, this is my land. I am having some vegetation on my land. For example, I am producing potato here. Okay, and this person A, just understand, this person A has cut down trees from this place, has cut down 10 trees or 30 trees from this place. Now, if I am producing vegetables here and he is purchasing my vegetable, then it will be considered as accredited compensatory afforestation. Clear? So now I don't find that how it is afforestation, but this is the idea given by the government again. But I know that the environmentalist will not favor this idea of assured compensatory afforestation. Earlier, what was the case? That if you cut 30 trees, you will have to plant 30 trees. But now under the accredited compensatory afforestation, if someone is producing something on his or her land, and if you are purchasing that product, then also it will be considered as compensatory afforestation. The third is, as per the new rule, state and union territory have been permitted to have the land bank of the forest land. Clear? These are the three things. Now we will see the criticism. The very first thing, that it is against FRA 2006. How? Because if you will read the sections in FRA, then it says that if you want to divert the land of the forest, then the Gram Sabha consent is must. And the same thing has been reiterated by the Supreme Court in Niyamgiri, or you can say Samantha judgment. Where the steel plant was trying to have their own industries in that area, for which the consent of Gram Sabha was necessary, but the guidelines have been issued by ministry to bypass the consent of the Gram Sabha, and the matter went to the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court upheld the power of the Gram Sabha required for diversion of land, that is diversion of forested land for the non-forested purpose. So now these rules is against these 2 points. Second is, you are trying to make ease of doing business, or you are trying to give an environment to the investment that we are very investor friendly. So whenever you are diverting the land for the private parties, obviously who will do the investment in the areas diverted from the forest? Private party will do. So basically, for the ease of doing business, you are compromising on ease of living of tribal people. And the last one is, before coming up with such rules, no one has been consulted, neither environmentalist nor tribal and the people affected by these rules. So this is all about what has happened in the rules, and this is about the criticism. So now if you will ask to me, sir, how much it is important for mains, I will say not much important. It can be asked, and the probability is 40-60. ऐसा बोलना नहीं चाहिए, but yes, the probability is 40-60. I don't consider it as very important topic, but yes, it is important topic for your mains examination. So that's all about this video. In the next video, again, I will come with the another probable mains topic for 2022. So thanks to all of you.